Yo, what's going on? What's happening? Word around social media is that Gen Zs don't want to have children. In particular, the young black Gen Zs don't want to have children. And their reason is because, you know, they don't want to bring a child into this world. You know, and they say, well, look at how the world is, you know? Massive job layoffs. Food is poison, genetically modified food. The air is poison, chemtrails. You know, we got shrinkflation, hyperinflation, funflation, stagflation. These tariffs, 30% tariffs that's put on us on top of the hyperinflation that we're experiencing. You know, these Gen Zs, same Gen Zs is saying this. They're like, yo, man, you know, I stay at home or I live by myself and I could barely afford 3 essential things in life. That's food, shelter, and clothing. So what makes one think, if I have a child, if I bring a child into this world, I'm going to be able to afford him or her? And I get it. I understand it wholeheartedly. Straight up. Now, do I agree with the decisions that you all have made? And my answer is no. Now, I'm not trying to promote promiscuity and you going out and having sex with multiple people and breeding children, and next thing you know, you end up in court because the mother want to sue you and you a deadbeat dad and that's your baby mom and all the rest of that hood drama. That's not what I'm saying. Straight up. And I do understand that in order to have a child, you're supposed to be stable. Not only mentally, physically, and spiritually, but financially as well. And that if you choose to have a child, that the one that you have a child with can bring something to the table just as well as yourself. And that you all are going to have a family. You're going to create a family. You understand? I get that. But let me tell you something. Aside from that, I don't think there was ever a good time, especially when dealing with black people, to bring a child into this world. If you want to break it down, you want to talk about Reaganomics and crack epidemic, you want to talk about when, you know, we were forcibly made to work against our will, called slavery. You want to talk about the civil rights movement, Jim Crow movement, the list goes on. We've been through so many things. And throughout the things that we've been through, we've always managed to have children, because children give off hope. Children, if raised, taught, and disciplined the right way, can be our change for tomorrow. But if you don't take the opportunity to use your reproductive systems, because that's what you have a reproductive system for, if you don't know, that's what you have a penis and a vagina for. If you don't utilize that to create, right, another human being, then we have no future. It's that plain and simple. It's nothing complicated about that. Tell me why. You explain to me. Why does everyone, aside from those that have problems, you understand, some people cannot have children, but I'm talking about the vast majority that can. Why do we have a reproductive system? Straight up. And if you're a religious person, this is I bring this up. I'm not religious, but most of you all are. Most of you all do what? Follow the Bible. If you're a religious person, you're going against God's will, because God said, be fruitful and multiply. That's what he said. That's in your Bible. So my thing is, Gen Zs, it's no disrespect. I'm just being real. Like, it's just a cop-out, yo. I have a few children, all by the same person. And I can tell you, some of them I was broke. But I knew that I had a responsibility. I knew that I had to take care of my responsibility. And that's what I'm doing. And it's a shame. See, why is it that we allow the culprit to get away with shit? It's a shame that we have to decide whether we want to bring a child into this planet or not based on finances, not love, finances. There's so many people down at the abortion clinic right now. And I can tell you, if you question those people getting an abortion, those moms getting an abortion, I'm telling you, most of the time it will be because I can't afford to have a child, or yet let alone another one. Ain't that some shit? That you're living in a country that you have a government that governs over you, and they're making it so that it's expensive for you to reproduce another human being. That is, if y'all don't see it this way, I don't know what to tell you. That is the most demonic shit I ever heard in my fucking life. That's real shit. And I'll take it a step further. They have pills that they give to women so that they can control the birth or how many children are being born. Those pills are called birth control. They give out condoms. And that's part of birth control. And it's crazy how they make all of these, they come out with all of these movies that have sex scenes in them, series on Netflix and Prime that have sex scenes in them. They promote sex by having sex scenes, titties all out, ass out, commercials. They selling products based on sex. You know what I'm saying? I've heard, I forgot what commercial it was where a lady was like talking to the plumber and she's like, yeah, my pipes are dirty and they need clean. And he's like, yeah, I'll stick it in there and get your pipes all clean for you. You know, just sexual suggestions and shit. Subliminally. The videos that our children look at, you know what I'm saying, is full of sex. Rap videos, titties all out, and all the rest of that shit. So they promote promiscuity. They want you to go out there and fuck and get all types of diseases and then watch this. And then if by chance you do get someone pregnant, they got a court system set up and designed so that the mother can penalize the father. By taking all his money for child support. This is all by grand design. All of that shit is easy. They give away birth control pills for free. You go down to the clinic, health clinic, you can get it. Condoms, you can get it. Commercials are free. Videos, sex videos is, excuse me, I might as well say sex videos, but rap videos, they got sex in it, bitches twerking and popping their ass. That shit is for free. Netflix ain't for free, you know what I'm saying? But it's sex scenes and all the rest of that shit. And movies got sex scenes in them and all of that shit. It's accessible, I'll say that. But when you bring a child into this world, they don't have any programs for single moms. They don't have any, well, excuse me, with the exception of, to be technical with you, Section 8. Welfare. Living in the projects. And that's a whole nother story. But they don't have no programs for families, you know what I'm saying, starting out to have a child, and the mom and the father's there. The father's definitely involved. Nah, the father can't be in the picture. Then the woman can get help, which is Section 8 and welfare. That's crazy too. They'll only help you if the father ain't around. So that separates and divides the mother and the father. Thus, it destroys the black family. But you can get help though. The government will take care of you. They make it easy for you to do the wrong thing, but make it hard when you're doing the right thing, which is having a child and the mother and the father's involved. Now you got to struggle. In this society. And I get it. Gen Zs probably saw their mothers and fathers struggle. In particular, their mothers struggled. And they came up. They grew up right along with their mother. And they said to themselves, hey, you know what? When I get older, I'm not having no children because I'm not going to struggle. I get it. But I'm telling you, on some real shit, that's going to totally disrupt and destroy the black race. By you not having children, there's no hope for tomorrow. And being that there's no hope for tomorrow, where's the change going to go? Where's the change going to be? Because people that are alive right now, all they're going to do is get older and eventually die. Then where are we going to be at? So I just, in my opinion, I think that that's a selfish decision that you all are making. But it's a decision that, you know, of course, it's your life. You got to live it. And you got to make decisions for yourself and on your own. You know? And I know probably the cop out is going to be with, you know, a lot of Gen Zs will say, well, man, you know, it ain't like everybody is, you know, making the decision not to have children. But a large portion of you all are. Unless you're just faking the funk. Straight up. And that's another form of birth control. There's no disrespect, but the homosexuality, birth control, you know, in the form of, you know, pills, condoms, etc. And just the state of mind of I'm not going to have children based on the economy or just based on how things are in society. That's a form of birth control. Straight up. You don't think that the powers that be, you think do you think that they would agree or disagree with the decision that you've made not to have children? I can answer that right off the rip. They would totally agree with it. because it's all about depopulating the planet and making sure that the 1%ers maintain the wealth as well as control. Straight up. So you're doing yourself a disservice when you say, I'm not going to have any children. Let me tell you something. Man, when I started having children, I swear to you, man, I became a man. It's nothing like being a father. It's nothing like coming home and they screaming out your name, little babies, and you know that they love you. Because can't no woman or nobody, no one else on this planet love you like a child can. That's real shit. That's real shit. Because their love is sincere. It's not fake. And if you raise them right, man, they'll be loyal and faithful to you. Especially in your time of need. That's real shit, man. I reflect back sometimes on the past when I didn't have children. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes they get on my nerves. And I reflect back on the past when I didn't have them. And I was like, man, it was just so easy. I had to just get up, wash my ass, brush my teeth, cook me some dinner, and that's it. And I could just lay around and not do shit because I ain't had no children. But now I got to get up, make sure that this person took, ate, or this person used the bathroom, took a shower, and all the rest of that stuff. But most times when I reflect on the past and I think about when I was single and I didn't have children and all of that, it's like, wow, man, I was reckless. One thing I could say about children, they give you direction. Straight up. And that's something that I didn't have in my life. And it's nothing like sharing that experience. I'm talking about having a child, giving birth to your first, second, third, how many children that you want to have. It's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? To experience that with someone that you love. And for your parents to come and visit the child. You know what I'm saying? And the parents that got a smile on their face because now you've turned them into grandparents. We're talking about legacy, man. We're talking about a family tree that you want to sever off. I'm talking about you Gen Zs. When you say that you don't want to have children. Straight up. What's the point of having a family reunion when it isn't one? Because you said, boom, the buck stops here. Don't never allow society, his society, money, and all this bullshit that's going on to stop you from reproducing. Straight up. I love all my children, man, and all of them are different. And I could tell you, man, I have no regrets. I would never want to go back in the past and undo what I've done. Straight up. And all of them, they got their mother in them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them, a lot of my children are just mini me's. Like, they look just like me. I got a son that's an artist. I used to be an artist, but I stopped drawing. I got a daughter that's an author. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to say she's an author, but she hasn't produced any books just yet. But she's writing screenplays, and I mean, she's taking it to the next level. I was an author. Well, I'm not going to say I was, but I am. You know what I'm saying? I wrote 2 books. Actually 3. You know, and then the other ones, they up and coming. I don't know exactly what they want to do, and they're young at the moment. But every time I look in their eyes, I know that there's hope for tomorrow. Real shit. And I just can't imagine being without them. That's real shit. I'm not telling you all to go out there and like I said, once again, I'm not telling you all to go out there and just fuck and have a bunch of kids and this and that and so forth and, you know, be irresponsible, and that's not what I'm saying. You know? You get with somebody that you love, you know, and I'm telling you, man, if you trying to save up 100,000 or whatever have you to have a child, man, shit, you'll be with it all day. Just make sure you got a little something, you know, and create a family. Straight up, because my family gives me strength. And when one or two of my family members are missing, I can feel it. Straight up. I can feel it, man. When you have a family, you could be vulnerable. I've cried in front of my family. I've told my family some of my biggest secrets. You could be honest. Straight up, but when you have a family, you don't need, what do you need anyone else for? You don't. But you'll never know what I'm talking about if you don't ever have a family, if you don't ever create one. That's real shit. That's real shit. You know? Some of you all don't want to have children, but you still have sex though. Stop faking the funk. Because the reality of it is having sex is for the purpose of reproduction. I don't know if anybody knows that. And that there's a time and a place to have children. But when you have sex, when you put on a condom, when you take birth control pills or whatever, you know, they have available, next day pill or whatever the fuck, basically, you're being promiscuous. You think that you're being responsible, but you're actually being irresponsible. Because the reality of it is if you were being responsible, you wouldn't even have sex at all. That's real shit. A lot of you men out there should be practicing, if you don't want to have any children, you should be practicing semen retention. A lot of you women out there, if you don't want to have any children, you should keep your legs closed. No matter what. If you really about that life. But I'm telling you, whenever you put your penis inside a woman's vagina, that is a sexual act. That is let me take that back. That is a reproductive act. Meaning, the penis goes inside the vagina. Am I doing sex ed here? The penis goes inside the vagina, and the penis ejaculates into the vagina, and the semen travels and hits that egg, and boom, a fetus is, you know, grows, and it's a gestational stage, you know what I'm saying? And you go through 9 months, and boom, out of the oven, a baby. That's what that penis and that vagina is for. To reproduce. Besides getting rid of waste. You know, urine. Aside from that, you women have a womb. You have fallopian tubes. You have all the equipment in order to create a child. Us men have a penis and scrotums, testes that produces semen. And your penis becomes erect so that you can, when the opportunity is given, you can shoot that semen out. But oftentimes, we utilize this reproductive event as a recreational sport. And then brag about it. Yeah, I got some pussy last night and blah, 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 blah. I don't even want to get into the hood shit, man. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, if you don't want to have any children, don't have sex. If you're really about that life, don't have sex. Other than that, every time you have sex, no matter if you put on a condom or no matter if you have birth control, if you don't get her pregnant or no shit like that or whatever, if she don't get pregnant, you still are performing a reproductive act. Just want to let you know that if you didn't know already. So, hey man, rethink that shit. Because at the end of the day, that's a not so smart move for you all to be on some shit like I ain't having children. Because if, I'm going to end it like this. If yo, and I know y'all know where I'm going with this. If your mama thought like you all did, y'all niggas wouldn't even be here. That's real shit. Other than that, out.